or doing this and that. How is it so?
Ngiyavumelana ke nokuthi vese nayo inkantolo corrupt ihlangene noGininda noConstable Zungu bamfakaselana noConstable Zungu la.
I'm also stating that this court is corrupt and is in this with Gininda.
Kungani
Why would they allow?
Sorry, are you saying this court is corrupt? Me, I'm corrupt. Because sometimes you use this word, inkantolo, or they court interchangeably. But are you saying me?
Hey, Chada, we are back with another video. The page, it is South African Late News. The Senzo Meyiwa case resumes today, and the lawyers will argue on whether or not the accused should be cross-examined on the confession statement that was provisionally accepted. Remember that the statement was provisionally accepted, not final. So it's what they called interlocutory judgment, which means the judge can still change his mind about that. So today, the lawyers will brief the court. I'm sure they did not even have to prepare kind of arguments. They're just going to argue in court, so it's not going to be a delay. But the problem is that Musibiya was already cross-examined on his confession. So Urata is not consistent, so he's wrong there. But under Musibiya, he did not make such provision. So we'll see what is going on. But today, I'd like to remind you about Advocate Mngomezulu. Remember, Mngomezulu was the lawyer for accused number one, Musibiya. He sadly passed away, and Musibiya had to find a new lawyer. But before his passing, Judge Rata had doubts on whether or not he was really sick. I remember on one day he said Mngomezulu was seen in court, whereas Mngomezulu was sick in hospital. But Rata said he had seen him in court doing other cases. So that's Rata for you. But I'm going to play an audio where Mngomezulu called a spade and told the court who allegedly shot Senzo Meyiwa, Gay Put, and what led to that shooting. He laid it out to the investigating officer. I think it was Sergeant Mohola. Yeah, and he didn't mince his word. I want you to listen to him, and then we'll talk about it. Danko.
The person who killed Senzo Meyiwa is not here amongst these five.
Umuntu owabulala uSenzo Meyiwa akekho kulaba abahlanu abala.
According, my lord, to the state evidence, my lord, the people who killed Senzo Meyiwa, they are in this court.
Ngokubufakazi ke obukhona ke kulona icala lombuso abantu ababulala uSenzo Meyiwa bakhona kule nkantolo.
Let me put this to you, ma'am. I'll refer to the evidence that was said prior to trial, within a trial. There were witnesses that said there were 3 shots that were fired. Do you know about that? Or do you have anything to say about that? There were 3 shots that were fired. I want to place it on record so that when I bring my witnesses, it is placed on record to the investigating officer. You are not an independent witness here. You are an investigating officer. There were 3 shots that were fired in that house.
My lord, as far as I can recall now, I think there are other witnesses, my lord, who mentioned in their statement that they had 2 shots, others said 3.
Yes.
So right now I'm not sure unless we can maybe draw those statements so that we can be sure.
Kule ndawo engimikuyona ke njengoba ummeli ethi ke sinofakazi ke abashilo kule nkantolo ukuthi ke isibhamu saqhuma kathathu. La enginikhona ke ngiyazi ukuthi bakhona ofakazi abathi isibhamu saqhuma kabili kunabanye abathi saqhuma kathathu. Ngafanele ke manje siyobheka ke lezo izitatimende lezo.
Thank you. And these 3 shots were not fired from the revolver, fired from the 9mm pistol. They were fired from a revolver. And that statement, those statements that I gave you, they also confirm a revolver by Brigadier Gininda.
As a court, please, my lord. This is a question that can be put to a ballistic expert. Colonel Mangena testified about the caliber of the firearm that was used. We submit that that question should be reserved for the ballistic expert.
No, I disagree. Because that evidence is part of the cooking of this case.
So even
Mangani and the rest.
also cooked the
They
evidence.
all cooked this evidence, these
Okay.
investigations.
All right.
Yes, they know who they were protecting. It's a cover-up. Everything is a cover-up here.
My lord,
If I can take you, ma'am.
I view that as an insult when you say we've cooked. We are not bought to cook something and present it before the court of law. I mean, that will mean that South Africa it's something else in terms of justice. And that's why we are here in this court, so that in order for the evidence that we have to be tried. It's not for your judgment to say the evidence has been cooked.
Akusuwena ke umuntu ongema kule ndawo ome kuyona ke uthi ke ubufakazi lokho ubufakazi ke obuphekiwe ke noma ke into nje yonke lena esihlanganyele siyazi ukuthi obani ke thina esibavikelayo. Ngikuthatha lokho futhi ke manje ke uPhoxalo noma manje ngenhlamba ke ukuthi usimelana thina ke futhi sipheke ubufakazi. Ngoba lokho kuzosho nje enye into nge South Africa mayelana ke nezobulungiswa bayo.
It doesn't matter whoever is listening to the matter, but what I'm putting to you is what happened on the 26th of October 2020.
It's incorrect, my lord.
Akunandaba ukuthi banike olalele kodwa mina lokho engikutshelayo ke ilokho kwenzeka ngazo i26 zika October 2014. Okay, you said your answer was sorry.
It's incorrect.
Okay, akusilona iqiniso lelo.
Senzo was shot. According to the evidence that I have as a defense, he was shot when he was separating Longwe and Zandi, who were fighting.
Ngokufakazi enginabo ke mina nanjengommeli ukuthi ke uSenzo wadutshulwa wakhe unkathi ehlukanisa uZandi kanye noLongwe babelwa.
Yep, that was Advocate Mngomezulu. But before I speak about this video, remember that on Saturday there was a visit to the Mayor family by MC Menzisto and the crew. They went there and they left some grocery for the family. And then the family approved that they can do a march on behalf of Senzo Meyiwa. And the date for the march is the 19th of May, of which will be a Tuesday. So it is a month away. So the march should go ahead. I'm told that it's going to be a peaceful march, not the chaos that you see in some instances. So a peaceful march will be taking place on that day, and I'm sure something further will come out and I'll keep you informed. So on the video there, it was Advocate Mngomezulu putting it to the investigating officer, which Senzo was shot by mistake. And that is based purely on two things. Firstly, the statement by Mlungisi Hlope, who was the one that was phoned by Tumelo Madlala after Senzo was shot. Mlungisi Hlope is the brother-in-law to Senzo Meyiwa and Sifiso Meyiwa. So he's the family member. He was phoned by Tumelo Madlala after Senzo was shot, and remember that it was still fresh in his mind. It was before the cooking. So Tumelo was still honest at the time. And he said to Mlungisi Hlope, Senzo has been shot ngephutha Tutula Ulongothala while he was trying to separate the fight between Zandi and Longwe, allegedly. And that's how Senzo lost his life. And also, that is also based on the witnesses that were outside. I'm saying the neighbors. Remember that there was Ngashes and the Khumalo neighbor. One of the Ngashe member came to court, but the other one sadly passed away. So the story about 3 shots was heard by more than one witness. So it is not fiction or inganegwan. It is something that is authentic. It's there, and some statements that were deposed by some of the people that were in the house. They said there were 3 shots. not the 2 shots that we were told about. So Mngomezulu, I think he was on the right path before he sadly passed away. I'm sure that if he was still alive, the case would have moved into a different direction, because Mngomezulu was not scared to call out Rata when he was out of order. He was not scared to say, Rata, you are now descending into an arena. Now, Rata, you are now doing something that is beyond your control, or beyond your powers, should I say. Because Rata does this often, like now about this confession statement where Musibiya was questioned about his alleged confession statement, but Untanzi Rata now is saying it is wrong to do that. So we do not have a consistent judge. So Mngomezulu, if he was still alive, he was going to call him to order even before Musibiya was cross-examined on that confession statement, because it is against the law. So now I wonder what is Rata going to do about Musibiya's case, because Musibiya has already been cross-examined on that confession statement, but now it turns out that it might be illegal. So Rata might have broken the law in the process of Musibiya's cross-examination, but asikho ke lapho. So Mngomezulu had said that he's got witnesses that he was going to call to support his theory. And now I feel that those witnesses are scared to come to court because they saw what happened to Mngomezulu. He suddenly got sick and then passed away. Some have alleged that there's something sinister behind his death. I'm not sure, I don't know. But some have suggested that there's something sinister. You remember that when you appeared on the podcast and chill with McG, he said Mngomezulu might have been poisoned. The key word there is might. It's not a fact. He's saying that there's a doubt about his cause of death. So I'm sure that the witnesses that Mngomezulu was going to call are now scared to come to court. Sadly, they will not come and testify to what Mngomezulu has said, because they know that if they come to court, they might be victims. Just like Ukwabini and Makosonke. Remember that Makosonke was arrested while he was sleeping by Abu Mapumulo and the rest. When Mapumulo tried to plant a firearm under his bed so that Ukwabini is compromised, so that they can then blackmail him into confirming the story by Constable Zungu. So other witnesses as well might be scared to come forward to confirm the story of Advocate Mngomezulu, because Mngomezulu said he had a witness that had the 3 shots that were fired in the house. Some witnesses say that they saw Usenzimiwa through the window when he was about to be shot. They said there was an argument, and they could see movement in the house, and they could see that something strange is going on. So Senzo was shot while he was standing, not the story that we were told by Ugininda and so on. He was standing, trying to separate the fight between Uzandi and Longwe. Unfortunately, the shot went off, and then he suddenly lost his life. That is the theory that Mngomezulu was about to prove to this court. Unfortunately, he lost his life, and then the rest is history. But now, I would like you to listen to the final part of that video where Mngomezulu spoke. Just listen.
Unkathi ehlukanisa uZandi kanye noLongwe babelwa.
Longwe, when he came to Kelly Kumalo's house, he was drunk. He was in possession of a 38 special revolver.
uLongwe nkathi efika ke kubona noma kubokheli ke wayedakiwe futhi ke wayephethe isibhamu esi38 special.
According to my witnesses, there were 3 shots that were fired.
Futhi nangokusho kofakazi bami ke isibhamu saqhuma kathathu.
And there were 3 people that were injured as a result.
Kwalimala abantu abathathu.
Senzo was shot dead.
uSenzo wadubuleka ke washona.
Longwe shot himself on the leg.
uLongwe wase eyayidubula ke
yena
enyaweni.
In his ankle.
Eqakaleni.
And the other shot is the one that was fired on the floor. As a result, Zandi was injured. There were 3 people that were injured.
Uqhuma kwesithathu ke kwesibhamu kwashaya phansi ke kwase kushaya uZandi.
do you have knowledge of?
My Lord, I do not have knowledge of what the council is putting in this court.
Loku okushiwo ummeli ke kule nkantolo anginalwazi lwako.
My Lord, with the leave of the court, I just want to establish, but I know he is not Sifiso Meyiwa, who cannot or will not be the witness of the state. I want to ascertain from my colleague whether he wants to use Sifiso Meyiwa in the state case.
Mr. Baloyi, you say you have got a mystery witness.
I think my learned friend can just conduct his cross-examination. We have signaled our intention, my lord, that when the state case is closed, all the witnesses who would not have been called will be made available to the defense. I think it's for my friend now to put whatever version he wants to the witness.
But this gentleman is not in your list of. Sorry, hello, Mr. Baloyi, he's not in the list.
There you have it. You heard there in the end, Advocate Baloyi was reluctant to say whether or not Sifiso Meyiwa would be brought in as a state witness in the Meyiwa case. Now we know that Sifiso Meyiwa was not called by Advocate Baloyi, but we heard there with Baloyi, he was in doubt because he wasn't sure what will Sifiso Meyiwa say if he comes to court. He knows very well that Sifiso Meyiwa has got some evidence because the Meyiwa family conducted their own investigation through a firm called Magma Security. Magma Security was sent to Johannesburg to find out exactly what happened to Senzo Meyiwa. They conducted interviews and spoke to some of the people that were in the house and spoke to some of the witnesses that know ukuthi yini eyenzeka to Senzo Meyiwa. So ulona uBaloyi is scared ukuthi yini engashiwo uSifiso Meyiwa because that might compromise his case. So thank you, Advocate Ngomezulu, for bringing that to us because now we know ukuthi there's more to it in this case. It's not the story of the intruder and Untanzi and Gala entering the house demanding money and cell phone. That is a fiction. We know that Senzo was shot by mistake, but then the people in the house were dishonest, allegedly. They did not tell the police the truth from the beginning. Had they told the truth from the beginning, I'm sure that the real shooter of Senzo Meyiwa would be out of prison by now because he shot him by mistake. That is culpable homicide, not murder. So it is a much more, it's a much less sentence if you are found guilty of that crime. So the person that shot Senzo Ngeputa would have been like out by now because he was going to get like 8 years, 7 years, and then even get less due to good behavior in prison, then get parole and so on. But they chose the wrong path, of which is to tell lies to the police, and now we are in this mess because of that. So what for Ngomezulu was going to make this thing to be more about Docket 375 and make sure that the truth is revealed. Because Ngomezulu was fearless. He knew that the guys before court were innocent. We heard him in the first part of the saying that the truth of Senzo Meyiwa is not in this court. Yep, it's going to be a busy day in our court today because Ujues Mkhwanazi was arrested for defeating the ends of justice. Remember, Ujues Mkhwanazi was the deputy chief of police at Ekhuruleni. He was arrested for defeating the ends of justice. He was implicated in the Madlang Commission of Inquiry by Witness D, whose real name is Marius van der Merwe. Sadly, Witness D was shot and unalived last year after appearing in the Madlang Commission of Inquiry. Witness D had implicated Mkhwanazi when he said that Mkhwanazi, in April 2022, he attended a crime scene where an innocent man by the name of Emmanuel Mbence was unalived. When Mkhwanazi arrived there at about 2 a.m., he told them to dump the body of Mr. Mbence into the river, and that is illegal. Mr. Mbence did not deserve to be thrown in the river, let alone being unalived. He was supposed to be taken to a morgue or a mortuary so that an autopsy could be conducted. So Mkhwanazi was implicated in that. And also, he was also implicated in the various job schemes there at Ekurhuleni, where it's alleged that he appointed his friends and conducted a lot of nonsense there. So Mkhwanazi is appearing in court today for a bail hearing. I'm sure it's going to be a short session because the state might say we need 7 more days to conduct more investigation and to obtain more statements. So Mkhwanazi might find himself having to go back to prison for about 7 more days, but it could happen. And then also, Ufani Nkosi is appearing in court this week. Remember that last week he appeared for bail hearing. But on the day, only his defense were able to state their case. So this week, the state will provide reasons on why he should not get bail. But I'm sure he'll get bail because in South Africa, criminals always get bail. Remember that the alleged top 5 mafia, Ukati Molife, got bail, whereas he had charges, about 5 charges of shooting and unaliving individuals. That includes TJ Sampod. So Ufani Nkosi will be in court today to hear if bail case is being approved or not, but I'm sure he'll get it because our justice system favors criminals.